Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
The number is 877-397-5666. That's 877-397-5666. Love to help you get your financial life in order, get your future lined up a little closer to where it should be, your future trajectory to retirement, and cut through a lot of the confusion and obfuscation, opacity that exists in this industry. Plus, we'll give you a free subscription to Real Investing Journal, a free charter subscription to Real Investing Journal, which is worth $15. All you have to do is be a part of the show. 877-397-5666. 877-397-5666. Tom is off for the weekend, so it's just me, Don. And last week, I haven't been traveling all over the place. I'm in California. I was just up in Seattle doing some classes. And when I was coming home, I have a Delta Reserve card because I used to fly Southwest in Alaska. I flew Alaska because they had a nonstop to Seattle, but the problem with Alaska is that I couldn't get anywhere else with them because they really don't fly up around the East Coast. You'd have to connect. I'd have to connect to go anywhere through Seattle. And so I flew Southwest for other stuff. Then I started reading more and more about what Delta was doing. They've got a new CEO. He seems to be very innovative. He's spending some money, improving service. Just built a brand new Sky Club in Seattle that is stunning. $24 million. Stunning. Gorgeous place. And I had a long time before my flight after I checked out of my hotel, so I went to the Sky Club. And I was just astonished. It was like great food, comfortable, good drinks. They brought around desserts. Great. I was talking to my wife. I was FaceTime here in Florida. And she said, "You should write a note to the CEO." So I said, okay. Looked him up online. His name is Ed Bastian. He's only been CEO of Delta since October, I think, somewhere in late 2016. So I wrote him a note telling him how much I enjoyed Delta and the facilities because I really was impressed. Delta's doing, there was a time when I flew them a lot. Then I stopped because service went way down. So I was pretty impressed. So I wrote him a note. This was on Saturday night, probably about 11 p.m. Eastern. Got home the next day. Slept in a bit because it was a red eye. Got up, looked at my email, and there is a letter, an email from the CEO of Delta from his personal iPhone at noon on Sunday. I was plenty impressed with that. But then because I'd mentioned that I was going back to Delta as my full-time airline, they kicked up my medallion status for the rest of the year. They said to, quote, jumpstart my experience. That was totally unexpected. That is shockingly good customer service when the CEO of a company that big drops you a note, a personal note from his own iPhone on a Sunday, and then goes above and beyond. So, wow, I've been being treated really well by Delta. I'm really impressed with you guys. Very, very impressed. And love my new status, too, because I'll get some first-class upgrades. 877-397-5666 is our phone number. That's 877-397-5666. I'm trying to figure out what the heck Ed Jones is doing about this fiduciary rule, and I think I've got it figured out. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure what they've set up is a new wrap account. They call it Guided Solutions, and what they've done is they've set up a few ETF portfolios. It's kind of like a robo-advisor. You go to your Ed Jones person, they say, okay, you should be in this portfolio, and then it says it's client-guided in their disclosure document. Client-guided leads me to believe that you're not going to get a lot of ongoing advice, but I could be wrong about that. Just doesn't really say you will anywhere in the Form ADV. But for this robo account, my guess is robo, the fees start at 1.35% per year. Once again, folks, 1.35% per year is really high for any advice. It's only moderately high for someone who's actually giving you ongoing personal advice. They are personally rebalancing your portfolio. They are calling you and making sure you don't get out, doing all of that. If Ed Jones is doing that, then they're only moderately high. But my guess is they're probably not. But this is their response. This is what's happening within the industry. They are moving toward fee-based propositions to try to comply with this new fiduciary rule. Merrill Lynch is doing it, but they're going they're fee-based. Their fee-based accounts, 2.25%. I was looking at some of the other big firms. They run 2 to 2.75%. When you vet an advisor, 1.25% is the highest fee you should ever pay. That is adequately being that means your advisor is being compensated fairly. They're not getting filthy rich. And the average return for equities over the past, since we've had good records, which is about 90 years, is just around a little under 12% per year. So if they're charging 1.25%, they're getting 10% of the return. Again, that's reasonable. People deserve to be compensated. They deserve to be compensated. The compensation needs to fit the advice provided. And so paying 2 or 2.25 or 2.5 just doesn't strike me as the fee fitting the service provided. It's arbitrary, I guess, but it seems to me to be a little high. So you've got to be aware of that before you enter into a relationship. What are you paying? Always know what you're paying, what you are getting into. And there are so many products out there that don't share that with you. They hide it. For example, I'll give you a great example of a product that totally hides the fee structure. A variable annuity or an indexed annuity. As a matter of fact, the people who sell them will even tell you when asked. Ask them what the commission is. How much do you charge me to get into this product? And I can tell you what they'll tell you. Oh, you don't pay a commission. And if you look in the prospectus or the offering statements, the offering documents, the disclosure documents, you won't find a commission. But what you will find, there's a way to discover how much that commission is. If you want to know what the commission is on an insurance investment, and I use the word investment lightly, check out the surrender charge in the first year. That is the commission.
Hi, brief break time. I'm Don, and I really wanted to share this with you because this is something I'm really excited about. I have taken much of the work that we do for our online Real Investing Journal and put it into a quarterly magazine that is, I have to say, pretty good and pretty cheap. And it is the only publication I can find anywhere that is totally devoted to real investing. You will find no business news there. You will find no lifestyle information. You will find no hard news, political news, speculation stuff. It's all about the science and the process and the discipline of real investing, and it's a way to keep you on track toward a better future. It comes out 4 times a year, and it's going to cost most people $25 a year. That's all, just $25 a year. But because it's brand spanking new, a limited number of people can become charter subscribers at the lifetime price of $15 per year. Plus, I'll get you a copy of the very first issue as a bonus while the supplies last, of course. So here's all you need to do. Just go to realinvestingjournal.com/subscribe and subscribe. And you'll start getting it in the mail every quarter. If you're one of the first 200 or so to subscribe, you'll also get the very first issue as a bonus. So be one of the first to get the very first magazine ever about investing and nothing but investing. Real Investing Journal, and you can subscribe right now, really easy, realinvestingjournal.com/subscribe, realinvestingjournal.com/subscribe. Now back to the show.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Hi there, I'm Don. Welcome back to the show. 877-397-5666 is the phone number. Call on Saturdays at noon Eastern, 3 Pacific. And, oh, by the way, I just did this in case just for those of you who are very curious about how this is all done. Because I'm in Southern California right now at a hotel at Disneyland doing the show from my room. And it used to be, it was really, really hard to do a broadcast from a remote broadcast. So what I decided to do is I just took a picture of what I use to do a remote broadcast, where I'm sitting right now. I'm not in it because I took the picture. But if you want to see that, go to talkingrealmoney.com and click on About at the top of the page. You can see that picture and see how simple it is these days. Let's go talk to Pat. Pat, welcome to Talking Real Money.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling, Pat. What's up, sir?
Well, I've got a piece of property that I bought so that when I got old and decrepit, I could build a house on it and go ahead and retire on it. Well, I've gotten old, but I'm not as decrepit as I thought I'd be. So I'm thinking of selling that property and maybe investing it with you folks or having you manage it. What do I need to know to make that journey?
You got to sell the property first.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
raw.
raw.
Anything to when you go from selling property, which is kind of an investment anyway.
Right.
I was just wondering about taxes and that sort of stuff. If there was anything I need to watch out for.
Yeah, you're gonna pay capital gains.
Okay.
It's a gain. If you made money, it's a gain.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to avoid that. Now, you might be able to do some tax planning prior to selling it to make sure you're in a reasonable bracket so you don't get hit with higher capital gains rates.
That's what I was talking about, basically.
Yes, that's something you might want to consider is, for example, if you were thinking about converting an IRA to a Roth, no, don't do that yet, because that could kick up your taxable income. Find ways to reduce your tax bracket if possible, although there aren't very many, or at least don't let it creep up into a higher bracket. You might sit down with your accountant and do that and say, what can I do? Is there anything I can do? There aren't a lot of tricks, though, anymore. They've taken away most of the tax tricks. Are you still working for a living?
No, not at my age.
Okay. All right. How old are you?
Next birthday, I'll be 80.
Wow, you sound good for 80. I hope I sound that good at 80. I thought I was getting old and decrepit, but no, I guess not. No, the trick is you just try to get the best price you can for the property, pay the lowest commission you can possibly pay, and you just pay the piper. You pay the government. It's part of the process. It's part of the process. Okay. And then when you invest it, if you're going to talk to an advisor, talk to one of ours, check with somebody else, make sure you realize what you're getting into. You know what the fees are. You know you're dealing with a fiduciary, and then make sure they ask you a lot of questions about your risk tolerance, about your needs, about your wants, about your fears, your expectations. If somebody doesn't ask you those questions, they're not doing their job. And your job.
I listen to you on the radio quite a bit, so I would be talking to you folks and see what we can do as far as getting together with that.
I think we'd make you happy, but we're always big fans of everybody shopping around. So yeah, but right now, get the property sold and go to the area. Do you know the area well where the property exists?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then you will probably know who the best people are to help you sell it.
Okay.
If not, ask the locals.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how do I get your journal?
Oh, you're going to get it as soon as you get off the phone. You're going to get a one-word or two-word slammed-together code where you go to realinvestingjournal.com, type it in, and the next issue, which comes out in June, be mailed right to you.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
okay?
I've got to go to the library in order to get a computer, but that's all right.
No, Tell you what, then. You don't even have a means to email, do you, then?
Nope.
Oh, I have an idea. Call 800.
I told you how old I was.
I know, but, I'm old. Call 800-386-3004.
Okay.
Okay? And when you call that number, ask for Kelsey. Kelsey. And I will have given her your name.
Okay.
And she will get you signed up and get it in the mail to you. That way, the more information you have, the better off you're going to be. And this is good information.
There we go. That's what I was going to say.
So call Kelsey. Call Kelsey. She's my assistant.
Okay.
And I'll send her a note today and make sure that she knows you're going to contact her. Okay, Pat?
Thank you very much. Appreciate the help.
You're quite welcome. Thanks for being a part of the show. And now, Amy, it's your turn. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Glad to do it.
I have a couple questions. I'm 45 years old, married, 2 children. Kids are about 12 and 14 years old. And I'm just wondering at this point in our life, should we be focusing on college or retirement or just regular savings? And
okay.
both.
Let me give you the orders.
We've got.
Let me give you. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. No, what? Go ahead.
I was going to just tell you, my husband has about $50,000 in a Roth, but he's now maxing out his 401k at 14%. I have about $200,000 in a Roth and $206,000 in my 401k, both at Fidelity.
Great.
So I just want to know that we're on track, and our kids have 529 plans, so they've got about $24,000 each saved already.
Wow, you guys are doing really well. Really well.
Well, I don't know. My dad was really into this, but he passed away 6 years ago, and I feel like I'm on autopilot.
The people who are most into it tend to also kind of be the most dangerous sometimes. You don't want to be too into it. You want to just do it right. Now, the couple of things you're doing right. One, your husband is funding the heck out of his 401, and he's putting money into Roths, right?
Well, he hasn't put money into his Roth since he started his 401k. So,
okay, the Roth is a critical component. The Roth is and it might even make sense to reduce, if he can't afford to do both, reduce the amount that goes into the 401k so he can do the Roth, because the 401k is taxable when you hit 70 and a half. The Roth goes tax-free forever.
Right.
It's a great planning tool. You already have a Roth and a 401. You've got 529s for the kids. Where are your 529s?
Vanguard.
Great. Okay. You're doing everything really well. Do you have?
Well,
and I'm
I
assuming.
I just want to know percentage of our income. What is
okay?
Standard?
Here's the rule of thumb. It's as much as you can afford as early as you can afford it. Because the sooner you do this, the sooner you can relax.
Yeah.
So the more you put in today, the better your life looks 10, 15, 20 years down the road when you can say, whoa, we're over $1 million. That's going to generate what we want. Or, whoa, we're over $2 million. That's going to generate what we need in retirement. We can now back off and enjoy our lives, do a few extra things for us, for the kids, for the like. But the key is to do it now rather than later because of that power of compounding. You're already doing it. Just make sure you use great investments, that you broadly diversify, you keep your costs super low, and that really does mean companies like Vanguard, Fidelity, DFA, and the like, and you're doing great.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Let's make a deal. We need reviews for our podcast to make it more popular, and you'd probably like a free year of Real Investing Journal. So, I'll trade you a year of Real Investing Journal through a $15 coupon code in exchange for a review at iTunes for the podcast Talking Real Money. Here's how you get your coupon code. Go to iTunes, write a review of Talking Real Money that at least goes into a second line, drop me a note at don@talkingrealmoney.com, along with the text of the review. I'll go check. As soon as I see it there, I'll send you the coupon code, and you can order the only real investing magazine, Real Investing Journal, and get the first year free. That's all there is to it. Just send me the copy of your iTunes podcast review to don@talkingrealmoney.com, don@talkingrealmoney.com, and I'll give you a coupon worth $15 off Real Investing Journal. Now, this is a limited time offer, and there's only one per email address, so go ahead and submit your review to iTunes and then send it to me, don@talkingrealmoney.com.
We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately, consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestry, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit talkingrealmoney.com for more information and disclosures.